I found this advertorial and they're selling this product for your pelvic floor. I thought bladder leaks were just part of getting older until I discovered this. So it looks like they're going for bladder leaks. Why incontinence treatments? What is this? Continence treatments, diets, fluids, weight loss. Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm not too familiar with, I don't have any personal bladder issues. I'm assuming they're for older people. By Elaine Carter, a urogynechologist. I guess they're doctors who specialize in female. Wait, female. They're focusing on women. If you're over 40, you might think bladder leaks are just a normal part of aging. You're not alone. Only 1/3 of women with incontinence. Involuntary leakage of urine or stool. Okay, so this is a pretty personal issue right here. You can definitely stir up emotion with this. Longer women wait, the worse it gets. It's not inconvenience physically, emotionally, socially. I like these little hearts there. For Jean, it was a moment she forgot. Oh, she was at her granddaughter. Okay. Woman. Okay, so it's specifically targeting women. Okay, they got like this little diagram with the pelvic to show it. Okay, the womb, the bladder, rectum, pelvic floor muscles. So strengthening your pelvic floor, they're already talking about the problem, right? Now, did they talk about alternatives yet? I don't think so. So they're saying the problem is stopping bladder leaks, menopause and aging, pregnancy and childbirth, obesity, chronic strain. Okay. Pelvic surgery, other health conditions. So they're really calling out their audience here, which most women over 40 probably have either one of these: other health conditions, pelvic surgery, obesity, pregnancy, menopause. These are all general things that are helpful in your advertorial when you're calling out your audience, right? You want them to feel relatable. And if you're like diagnosing them on the spot, like if you have this, then you have this condition. That's really good for getting your prospects to say yes. Oh yes, that's me, right? Which makes it easier for them to say yes when they're on your product page. Why most solutions don't work: surgery, medication, okay, medical devices. I would probably be a bit more specific here, like exact types of medication that they've tried. Maybe they tried I'm assuming they got pills. Maybe they got some sort of like cream that they apply. Surgery, I would put in the money too. Talk about money. Injections. Some women can't empty a bladder, leading to even more problems. Kegel exercise. I would make this they can't fully empty their bladder. For this, you could increase trust. Like you could increase like fear, right? If they can't empty it, you could say like it's like opening a can of worms to even more health problems and thousands of dollars, and you can write a relatable story to that as well, so they can just think of avoiding it. Looks like they're actually talking about the most common, which is Kegel exercises. They're too hard to do correctly and consistently. Unguided Kegels. The solution to that, like the first solution that I'm thinking of is like, okay, what about guided Kegels? What about Kegels on YouTube? Right? That in my mind, There's YouTube videos everywhere. So if I was running this advertorial, I would, if I'm talking about Kegels, I'll probably talk about YouTube videos, because everyone knows, they just go on YouTube, they search it, they search a video, a workout video. Women do this all the time. Okay, you gotta like just explicitly tell them, right? YouTube isn't an option, or even like guided Kegels isn't an option, and you have to like convince them. That's why I created Pelvitone. For years, I watched bladder leaks. Okay, so they introduced a product that, so they're basically positioning the doctor as the creator, which is also the writer of the advertorial. So it's not like a story of just some woman and then a doctor introduced the product. They're just writing it from a doctor's perspective, which, right? They're showing this right here. Honestly, like, I've seen this product before. It kind of looks like some gimmicky product. Pelvic floor stimulation, heat feature, why this works, life-changing benefits. You activate the right muscles, stay consistent. I would just like probably say it's like easier. Like, it's a lot easier than going out and exercising, right? Because there's different selling points, right? There's the ease of use. There's also affordability. There's like, people have tried other types of treatments and they didn't work, where this works a lot better than everything else. Bonus free training plan. Okay. Will this work for me? Pelvitone works at any age, women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I would say it's made specifically towards older women above 40. Flying chicken. Proven in their clinic. I encourage you to try the Pelvitone. Okay, the Pelvitone has helped thousands of women. They got a lot of trust. They got images. They're reusing these testimonial images, the same people. Like, now you can just generate images of people all the time. Demand is too big. What's the price? You could sell it tomorrow. I always see this image over and over again. Always see this. And once that happened, we run out of stock. The Pelvitone is not available. I mean, I see this template all the time, right? It's probably the same person just running this same template over and over again. Selling advertorials. Now, the Pelvitone is not available anywhere else. On my official website. Find it in stores. You'll find it. Of course, you price it at 1/5 of what all the marketing experts recommend. Just $489. Okay, that's pretty expensive. We decided to offer a special limited discount that you have your own Pelvitone. This, like, I mean, that's just 244.99 Canadian. Are they selling in Canada? Here's what to do next. Click that bean button that says, okay. Here's what to do next. The only risk you can possibly face. Pain and regret if you miss out the opportunity. I would sell definitely more of, like, if they don't try this, like, how many more alternatives are they gonna keep trying over and over again to fix their pelvic issue? And also, okay, they're running a sales page and they're running like this order page. This is like the Nuru template checkout, but they just copied it and then they're running it for their brand. I remember this. 244 Canadian dollars, which is $2 USD, $176, which in my opinion, I think it's like, right, they're giving a wellness bundle. I'm curious where the upsell, if they're running upsells and whatever. They're not running, like, are they running free shipping? I would put like you can just add like a one-click upsell right here. Especially these guys are running this on Funnelish. You can just add like a little box here with like a little pointing arrow, and then the arrow it says like shipping like $10, or package protection, or expedited shipping, or carbon protection, something like that. You can just add it. But they're running this product which, in my opinion, $170 USD, right? And that's not including any upsells after. For this issue, definitely I would probably focus more on talking about alternatives, like why this solution is better than all alternatives, and exactly what alternatives that they've tried that are very expensive, and that they'll keep trying it over and over again until they find a solution. Because in my opinion, I just look at this product and I'm like, it just like the product itself, it doesn't look that premium. Okay, like this product, like you just look at it, I mean, it's got like a remote control thing. I skimmed over this page, I didn't read through it fully, but like when you're writing your advertorial, you want it really easy to understand, easy to explain. I didn't really see a proper explanation or mechanism as to how this works, why it works. I would focus more on explaining like exactly why this works, because I'm sure like women who have bladder issues and have tried multiple products, I mean, they probably haven't seen this unless it was through like another ad, like another drop shipper, running the same product. Because I seen this product, you know, people running some advertorials for the same product. But like it's really important to just have it easy to understand, right? You can use an illustration just to explain it. For this, like I'm pretty sure it's just like some warm kind of like vibrating, or like just a warmth thing that will like help bladder leaks. They did a good job in talking about alternatives and like calling out their audience exactly why they have this problem of incontinence. But like you see in their headline, right? They said, "I thought bladder leaks were just a part of getting older. The reason why incontinence treatments don't work for most women, and this breakthrough device changing everything." When you're really when people make YouTube videos, they make their title before they make the actual video itself. Okay, like the title is extremely important, right? Their title or their headline is extremely important. They literally come up with their title and headline before they make the video. And the same thing is kind of with advertorials. You want to have like kind of an outline as to like exactly what your page is and what it's going to explain to them. I mean, you don't really have to. You could kind of, because you'd be split testing headlines anyways. You're going to be writing a lot of different headlines. But generally, like, you want to keep it where you have an idea that you're sticking to throughout the entire advertorial from start to finish. Because this is a pretty long advertorial, but I mean, it is an expensive product. 176. If you frame it correctly, you won't have an issue selling, because this incontinence, I'm sure this is like a very personal issue. So let's see, word count. Let me see how many words this is. This is a pretty long. It's 4,600 words, right? I feel like that's a bit excessive for something like this, especially. For me, if I was structuring out this advertorial, I would probably, I mean, you can still have it written by this urogynecologist, but I would start out with the story, right? Because it's starting as like informative, and then it weaves in the story mid end. Like honestly, if I have this type of personal issue, like incontinence, obviously you have to do your research. You just go on Reddit, right? Incontinence for women Reddit, right? You just go on Reddit. You just simply, I am at 20 and somehow incontinent. Looks like they can come with a younger woman angle. Early 30s, no kids, average weight, no other real health issues. Right? First thing I see, like 37 upvotes. Okay. There's This is 8 years ago. I would start doing Kegels immediately. Right? And I know in this page they did talk about Kegels as the most common solution. Where is it? The most common advice, which is Kegels. If it's that big, like I literally opened the first Reddit tab and they're talking about I would start doing Kegels, right? And if it's that big in your market, right? If that's like such a big like known thing that's like already known to the people who have this issue, I would like instantly start off with that. Like I would instantly I would probably put this as not a urogynecologist, or if you are, you could like I would have this lady talk about how she used to give advice to her patients 10 years ago that had incontinence to do Kegels, but then I realized I was wrong after, doing this research, or after this research, went up, and then you can just have like whatever articles cited, and then you start explaining why Kegels don't work. I feel like that would be a really strong angle, because it seems like the market sophistication like for Kegels for women with incontinence is like massive, right? So I mean, at that point you can just split test copy, right? And you can write an advertorial focused on Kegels and why they don't work, and talking about advice and research and explaining everything. I mean, you can also, this is kind of like a general advertorial here, but I mean, generally when you're making advertorials, you can start kind of broad and then split test headlines to see, what type of angles are working. But really, for a product like, for a market like this, it seems like Kegels are really, really big, and I would focus on that a bit more. And because I mean, obviously when you're writing advertorials, you're writing story, you're making up a story, you're explaining your product, your mechanism, right? You go from the struggle to the discovery to the trying it out, the day 1, day 30, day 90, and then closing it out. Oh, I tried this and then it changed my life. And then you have two options. Option 1, continue doing what you're doing. Option 2, try it out, risk free, whatever. That's like typically how an advertorial will go. But like really, when you gotta do the reason why like advertorials will do well is because you do research. Okay, every kind of niche, every kind of market will have like a different advertorial structure that suits it well. And from what I see with the very little research I've done, I've just looked on Reddit right here. It looks like women are talking about Kegels, Kegels, Kegels. Right? Let's see. Secret is out. He had an accident. Right? You can see people's experiences here. Look at their upvotes. See how popular it is. Look at what people are talking about. You can literally feed all of this into AI. Whatever AI model you're using, GPT or Gemini for research. Boom. You get all this information, and then you just write your advertorial. And that's what makes an advertorial, let's say, one that's doing like 5 to 6 figures versus like 7 to 8 plus, right? It's that kind of extra research that you've done, like, oh, okay, maybe we can probably skip, this relatability part. Maybe we could, focus more on the story, the relatable story, with Kegels as the main thing, and then explain all the other issues later, right? Because they revealed Kegels after revealing all the different kind of advice before, right? They said injections, medical devices. They didn't even mention Kegels before, right? If I was a woman with incontinence, I would probably know about Kegels. I would like, and obviously you want to hook them in. It's kind of like the slippery slide, where they read the first sentence, they want to read the next sentence. I would give them what they want to hear, and what they want to hear is that Kegels don't work, because obviously if they've tried Kegels and they still have incontinence, it didn't work for them, right? that's literally a guaranteed thing that your prospects, everyone who's reading this is gonna see, right? Is gonna have experience, and if you know their experience, like, just write about it, and they'll feel more relatable, and you'll be able to sell a lot more at scale. So, anyways, that's enough about this advertorial. I mean, I would change some things. Personally, I love adding an Instagram post or Facebook post, like, as if it's a embedded post inside of the page, where it's like it shows as if it was embedded from like Facebook or Instagram, and it just adds a lot of trust. I would personally like, I mean, these images, they can probably do better. I mean, they probably whipped up this advertorial, like, no problem. I mean, they're obviously using the same template. I see this template all the time. Okay, they're running it in Funlish, but I mean, they're running to in Canadian to women, which, I mean, this will work, right? But you just need to like focus on like exactly why they're buying, and focus on what they've actually done. And it looks like a lot of them have experience with kegels. Like, that's massive in here, right? So anyways, if you're looking for an advertorial to make for your own brand, check out all the rest of my videos. I break down advertorials all the time. And if you need one done for you, right? If you don't want to make the advertorial, if you just want an advertorial for your brand to test out, because I mean, basically any product, and if the advertorial is really good, it can print, right? As long as it's been researched thoroughly, and if you need help with that, I make advertorials for brands. Message me on X, and it's in the description. And just message me, hey, I need an advertorial. Boom, I'll help you out with that. And that's basically it.